Ready, fire, aim. And the thing about that I love about this quote is because, I mean, the book, I read a lot of it, but I didn't finish the book. But sometimes there's books where the title for me is just enough. So what this means is take action. So get ready, take action, and then redirect as you go through the process. And so this I feel is super important, especially when we're talking about in terms of fitness. So in terms of fitness, like there's never going to be a perfect time. You're never going to have everything 100% perfectly figured out to get started in, your fitness goals. Maybe you want to lose 20 pounds for the last 5 years. Maybe you've wanted to get into pickleball the last year or so. But, waiting for when the weather's right, waiting for the next month, waiting for that pickleball gym to open up, waiting for, a certain situation. But oftentimes that putting off until the perfect time, putting off becomes a habit. So that's why it's important to just take action and figure it out along the way. And so in terms of the concept of ready, fire, aim, this is a perfect example of it. So this show is something I've wanted to do for a good amount of time. And inspirations for this would be Brandon Carter with Victory Talk. Really love learning that. And I'll often have it when I'm working, I'll have it in the background. Alex Hormozy came out with One of Zero, where he does like live Q&As, but also sometimes we'll tackle some certain topics he wants to talk about. And so in this too, I don't have it fully figured out. We just had technical difficulties for 10 minutes because I couldn't get the camera to work. And so I'm learning as I go, learning out the software here. But taking action, and we're going to learn throughout the process, rather than trying to learn through all these hypotheticals, I think this will work, I think that isn't the best route. But it's kind of like the man in the arena. It's like you got to be in the arena to really know what's working and what's not. And I can make this as, another thing would be UFC. The very first Ultimate Fighting Championship, I believe that's what the acronym stands for, but UFC 1, everybody said conceptually, this martial art is the best. But you don't know until people actually ended up getting into the ring and starting to, have karate versus jiu-jitsu versus kickboxing versus boxing. And that's when we realized, hey, this probably some people are going to like this, but Brazilian jiu-jitsu came out on top, won UFC 1. So with that being said, we wouldn't know these things if no one took action and actually put rubber to pavement, got the things in motion. So what this kind of, I find so, inspiring about this, but is you learn by doing. So a big piece is you learn by doing. And this could be in weight loss too. A lot of people, if you want to lose 20 pounds, this BMR says I burn X amount of calories. But this BMR calculator says I burned that many calories. I don't know my exact amount of activity level. And so there's just all this information. But if you just track your nutrition, you track the trend of your weigh-ins, then you can make some educated decisions in adjusting your calories or your activity level to see continued progress. If you keep just like, if your head is always in the notebook and it's not actually in the gym or it's not actually doing the thing, then you're not going to get where you want to go. So this concept of ready, fire, aim is the reason why I want to start off with this topic is if there's something you want to accomplish, but you're not exactly sure how to do the thing, just start doing the thing and figure it out from there. This show is something that I've wanted to do, and we're getting things starting and figuring it out along the way. So start with the topic, go into some Q&A, and try to provide more value and helping people out just on like a live platform. Somebody may have a question that I can answer that's going to help maybe 10 other people that didn't get to answer that question. I would love to, of course, work with everybody in my coaching program in HFP, but it's not realistic if we can have, let's say, 100 people live at once on this, or maybe one day 1,000 people, maybe another day a stadium full of people, if only. But I have stage fright, so that may not be the best play. But in terms of ready, fire, aim, if there's something in terms of fitness where you're waiting for that perfect time, you're waiting until you're not busy, you're waiting until, work hours, you start leaving on time and it's not a busy season anymore. This is actually the best time. Do it while situation is not ideal. I want to highlight not, but you want to do these things while the situation is not ideal, because it never stays ideal. Maybe, you do get that time. You do find an extra hour in your time. And that does happen. but often, and we can start committing to, training, eating better, et cetera, meal prep, but then you're going to get busy again. The next kind of life curveball is going to hit. And I often find it best to figure it out while everything is going on. In terms of the show, this is probably one of the busiest weeks that I've had in the past, I'd say, year or two. This last week, we're hiring. Of course, launching this. We got a hot seat this other night. And we got CISSN exams. And so there's a lot of things going on. But I feel that this is the time to figure this thing out and try to provide more value. Same thing with fitness. Times may not be ideal, but just get in the gym, get the process going. You're going to learn a lot more by your first 10 minutes in the gym than, let's say, an hour thinking about the gym or writing down programs. So I would definitely say go in with a game plan, of course, but also learn by doing. Like, what's the perfect diet? It doesn't matter. Start logging your intake, start logging your progress, and see where you get to go. So ultimately, if the time is not ideal, that's the perfect reason to start. Get habits in place that are going to serve you when the time isn't ideal. Get things in place that you want to accomplish when it's not the perfect time or when you're busy. Because then when you're busy in the future, because I'm sure you're going to be busy in the future, then you're going to have that already figured out. You're already going to have that steam. You're already going to have that momentum. So that's kind of why I want to talk about this first topic, being ready, fire, aim. So I hope this is helpful. And then I'm going to probably clip this and we're going to add that to my YouTube channel. And now I want to open it up to any questions in terms that we have for the Q&A. So let's open up for some Q&A questions. So I am live here. I'm going to stop sharing on this. But we are live now on YouTube. We are on, what's going on? Let's go. Greg is in the house. He is on YouTube today. Shout out to you, Greg. Appreciate you. Hi, what's going on, Joeler? And thank you, Nathaniel. You're so sexy and hot. I appreciate that. It's good lighting in here. All right, let's see if we got any questions going on Instagram. And we're going to dive into some Q&A. All right, so we got Happy Tuesday. Let's go. What have we got? Ready, fire, aim. Let's go. All right, I'm scrolling a lot. Thank you for this information. Appreciate you. No problem. Hopefully that is helpful. That was something that was really helpful for me. This concept, kind of like with a lot of things, trying to always wait to have like the perfect game plan, the perfect situation. And then it was just always something that, just keeps getting put on the back burner and not actually taking action.